and welcome into the Varsity Voices podcast presented by C Spire. It is our Halloween edition. It's Halloween week, so we're having a fun time. And voice of the Whippets, Breck Riley, or Waldo, is here with you to go over our weekly pick'em, where I want to be Waldo today because Waldo's not in last place. Breck Riley's in last place. I want to be Waldo this week. But this overtime segment is brought to you by Fowler GMC and the drive to the state championships. Fowler GMC in Pearl built a reputation on trust, serving Mississippi since 1953. We've got the crew here: Brandon Davis, voice of the Warren Central Vikings; Jared Schatz, the voice of the Germantown Mavericks; and Caleb Hamill, our producer. Jake Wimberly, I guess he's still getting in his Halloween costume. That Raggedy Ann costume must be hard to get in because that's what he's going to be, guys. But we are ready to make some picks for this week and got a lot of fun games to talk about this week when it comes to the pick'em. And we talked about some of them, in our fourth quarter segment, but we didn't talk about all of them. And we want to remind you that our pick'ems are brought to you by Pine Straw of America. You can keep your yard looking perfect all year long with Pine Straw of America, experts in premium longleaf pine straw. Join the exclusive subscription program and enjoy fresh, flawless straw on schedule every season. Pine Straw of America, fresh year-round. You can check out 4.9 out of 5 reviews on Google. So let's jump right in. Who's in first place? Is it Schatz or is it Brandon Davis?
Tied.
What's a tie?
Because Schatz just tied it. Let's put him first.
So, yes, we're not going to go rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first? Well, I'm going
to allow Schatz go to first.
Age before beauty?
It's Grenada. Thank you, Grenada. You ruined my perfect week last week.
Something like that. So, all right. So, Jared Schatz, you go first. Also, big thank you to Matt Wyatt, who was our guest picker this past week. Of course, got the Matt Wyatt Show, host of the podcast, Mississippi Outdoors podcast, and color commentator for Mississippi State football radio broadcast. So, appreciate him. But up first, Jared, a game that we already talked about a little bit, is Gulfport and D'Iberville. Gulfport is 6-2, D'Iberville 7-1.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this ball game went either way. I don't think I've picked against D'Iberville this year until now. I like their defense. I love their defense, but I think Gulfport is too balanced on offense, and they play pretty good defense as well. They really made a statement when they beat Ocean Springs early in district, and they really have been playing some really, really good football ever since. Blake Penix and his crew. I think this football team this is their year to make some noise, possibly win the district, and they're in a great position to do it. So give me the Admirals.
Brandon Davis.
Yeah, this game is at Buddy Singleton Stadium over in D'Iberville, but Gulfport is 4-0 on the road this season. They're actually 2-2 at home. They are averaging 38 points a game on offense, and then 35 points a game, and then 16 points on defense. So, as Jared said, they're just as good on defense. I love D'Iberville, 244 yards on the ground running the football, but it's the balanced approach and then the record also on the road. So, this week I am taking Gulfport as well.
Caleb Hamill?
Yeah, hard to pick against Gulfport in this one. And as much as I'd love the chaos of the top of that region with D'Iberville winning, creating that three-way tie at the top, I think with how great Cooper Crosby's running the football, and then just Gulfport in general and how dominant they've been since that Ocean Springs win, I think they continue to move well, and they'll get this win on Friday.
I'll make it a clean sweep for now. I'm also going with the Admirals of Gulfport. Next up, West Jones and Hattiesburg. Caleb Hamill will be on the call for this one. We'll get to his pick in just a little bit, but as always, Jared, go with it. West Jones 7-2, Hattiesburg 6-2.
Yeah, I know West Jones, gosh, I always think of that defense they had a couple of years ago, and it's not fair to base every defense off of that, right, because kids graduate. But Hattiesburg has a little bit better of a defense in this ball game, giving up just over 20 points a ball game. But, I don't want to pick against West Jones. I think they're a little bit so Hattiesburg, very balanced, 164 yards a game on the ground, 163 yards through the air. So very balanced. It's hard to get more balanced than that. But West Jones averages 160 yards on the ground as well, but they throw it a little bit better at 194 per ball game. So I like Caleb Holmes and what he's been able to do on the ground. 2D Lindsay, I can't go against West Jones. Give me the Mustangs.
Davis.
West Point hates me. Grenada hates me. Hattiesburg's about to hate me. I think you're fool's gold. Okay. Your record against the teams that you have beaten, their record is 11-39. I'm going to tell you the teams you've beaten. You've beaten Laurel, Biloxi, Meridian, Jim Hill, Forest Hill, and George County. So the combined record of those teams is 11-39. You are averaging 31 points a ball game and 21 on defense. But Schott said it best. 2D Lindsay is dynamic, and they have numerous pieces that complement him. If you are comparing the teams that West Jones has beaten, 20-37 for their record, but they beat Terry, and Terry's a great team. I like what they're doing up there. So I think West Jones is legitimate, and they're going to win this game over Hattiesburg Friday night.
Caleb Hamill, I mean, I know like when they do the college game day, if you're calling the game, you can't make a pick, but we don't do that. So you get to make a pick.
Well, this is tough because playing at D.I. Patrick Stadium is one of the toughest venues in Mississippi high school football to get a win on the road. It's happened only once so far this year, and that was Oak Grove and kind of a coming out party this year, winning 48-7. I have to pick West Jones. Not saying I would prefer to pick Hattiesburg in this one, but I do agree with what Brandon said. They have not played the top tier games this year that some of the others have. Now, granted, West Jones struggled a little bit on the road at Wayne County. Staved off a comeback from the War Eagles there. Lost to county rival South Jones when they were at their peak. But all that said and done, West Jones defensively getting back healthier. 2D Lindsay, the quarterback, has been hitting his stride, especially connecting with Chandler Watson. I do think this could be a high-scoring affair. It's just going to depend on who has the ball, with 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. But I got to go with my Mustangs here.
Once again, I'm going to make it a clean sweep. 2D Lindsay and the Mustangs get it done here against Hattiesburg. Next up, another good one. Got a good mascot matchup. Gators and Jaguars. Good, two big, strong mascots. Vicksburg taking on Holmes County Central. Vicksburg is 5-3. Holmes County 6-3. Jared Schatz, what are you going with?
And this is kind of the show me game, right? We've had all these expectations on Holmes County this year, and they just have not lived up to it. Vicksburg, we're waiting for them to take that next step. So, if we were in Missouri, this would be the perfect, ball game for this Friday night, or this week, I should say. But look, I've got to go with the Jaguars. I just think they're a little bit ahead of Vicksburg right now. But again, one of these teams is going to have to do something because if they're going to make some noise in the playoffs, they really need to get rolling right now. They need to find that spark.
All right, Davis, how about you? Gators or Jaguars? You know a lot about the Gators being there in Vicksburg.
I like the Gators. I like them a lot. They're 2-1 in region play. Home Central is 1-2 in region play. I'm picking Home Central because this is a must-win game for Home Central if they want to make it into the playoffs or if they want to get into the playoffs. Central's 2 losses have been to Cleveland Central and Lanier. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Vicksburg's averaging 30 points a ball game. They are dynamic. Defense is not quite as good this year, has been in the past, giving up 24 points a game. But I am going to take Holmes in this game just because, one, it's home. It's in Lexington, and I just think there's too much talent on this Home Central ball club.
Man, I really don't have a great sway one way or another, but I was a Jag graduate, Madison Central Jaguar, but hey, I like to stick with that kind of mascot. Give me Holmes County Central.
All right, here's where I'm going to go different. I'm going to take the Gators in this one. I like the Gators. I think that, as Jared said, somebody's got to show you something, right? And I will think that the Vicksburg's finally going to get it sorted out, and that I'm going to go with the Gators to get the win here. Let's go up to North Mississippi. We kind of touched on this one, and a big one in 4A for a region championship. New Albany and Corinth. New Albany 7-2, Corinth 6-2, and we had Pat Crump as our player of the week last week talking about this one. So this is a good, I think, a tight ball game there between two really good squads. Jared Schatz, you're up first.
Yeah, give me Corinth in this ball game. Their defense is, I think, a little bit better than New Albany, giving up just over 15 points a ball game, a 6-2 overall. This is a team I think that is really hitting at the right time. I know New Albany's got a really good offense, but give me defense. I'm a big defensive guy, and that's what Corinth brings to the table. So give me Corinth.
Brandon Davis, Corinth, New Albany.
Same as Shots. I like what he said about the defense. Pat Crump running the football, 24 touchdowns on the season. Defense, they're averaging 15 points a ball game, 68 tackles for loss. Maya Holbert, defensive lineman, 18 tackles for loss. When I was trying to compare these two teams, I looked at kind of common opponent, obviously region play, but I look at North Pontotoc. New Albany lost to North Pontotoc 26-22, but Corinth beat North Pontotoc 52-6. So if Corinth is playing and they have head to head, they've won 65% of the games against New Albany. So I like Justin Dye's team this week, just like Shots. I'm taking Corinth.
This is the second of 3 games that I, in some form or fashion, have a rooting interest in, because I went to Corinth for 8th grade through 10th grade. I was a Warrior, and I'm going to stay a Warrior, as I think Corinth takes down the Bulldogs. They used to be a really big matchup back when I was in school, and New Albany had the better end of it several times, but Corinth's going to get it here in 2025.
Yeah, this one was difficult for me. New Albany had a lot of expectations coming into the season. Kind of got off to a slow start there, and Corinth, it's come on here, kind of done some things late, and I think I'll probably stick with the crew here and go with Corinth. I like, as Jared said, defense there. Wouldn't be surprised if Braden Shettles and New Albany able to get a win, because I think they are getting right at the right time, but I'm still going to stick with Corinth in this one. And another one that we kind of previously touched on is Tylertown and PCS. So that's a big one. Both teams coming in at 6 and 3. Of course, we've talked about it before. This year, PCS first year in the MHSAA, and pretty successful making the jump over, and they can continue to improve Jared Shots with some, playoff seeding on the line here.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with PCS. They have made the transition look pretty easy, and a lot of teams can't do that. This is my coin flip game. I still don't know. I need a coin, but give me Tylertown. Just a hair more balanced. And their common opponents, they both had the same record. They were both 2-1. Tylertown was, against West Marion. They lost by 1 point. Meanwhile, PCS lost by 12. So there you go. Just give me Tylertown, because I don't know. This is going to be a really good ball game, evenly matched.
Mm-hmm.
Shots going with the transitive property here. Davis, what about you?
Hey, I love Smith Stringer, the quarterback at PCS, over 2,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I know that he had a bum ankle a few weeks ago. Hopefully he's well from that. But a lot like Shots, I compared, West Marion's going to win the region down there. Tylertown lost to him by a point, and then PCS lost to him 33-21. I like Keonis Davis. Keonis Davis was a kid that we had marked as one of our preseason players, top quarterbacks in the state. So far, he's thrown for over 2,000 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 5 picks. I think Tylertown's a little more athletic than what PCS has seen and what they are too. So I love PCS, but I'm taking Tylertown in this game.
Keonis Davis, very mobile quarterback too. He's got the passing yards and the rushing yards to go with it. That said, I was part of a PCS broadcast team from 2020 up until before last season. And over there at PCS, their public address man for several years, Mike Smith, had just this classic way of announcing first downs. He would say, first down, play a Bobcat sound effect, and then say Bobcats. So this week, I'm taking the Bobcats.
Nice. Okay, well, I'm gonna stick with Brandon Davis and Jared Shots. I like Tylertown in this one. Tylertown and Columbia kind of went toe to toe for a quarter, maybe quarter or two, and we obviously know how good Columbia is, and so I'll roll with Tylertown in this one. And another one, a couple of rivalry games to end things here as we're looking at the Maroon Bowl, East Webster and Eupora. East Webster's 8-1. Eupora is 6-3. Another great mascot matchup. Wolverines and Eagles. Jared Schatz, who you taking?
Yeah, I got to go with East Webster. This is a team that I was high on to start the year. They've played 3 common opponents. East Webster is 3-0. Meanwhile, Eupora is 0-3, and it's that East Webster defense, guys. They have not even given up over 100 points this year in their 9 ball games. So they are playing lights out on the defensive side. They're going to make a push for a state championship. I think they're going to give Eupora all they want.
I made a mistake earlier in the season when I picked against Ron Price. I think I had Nanawaya beating East Webster, and East Webster beat Nanawaya like 43-0 or something like that. I said I'd never pick against Ron Price again. Eupora, they're 0-3 in region play, but they have a kid named Peyton Perkins that a lot of people haven't talked about in this state. He's 6'2", 185 pounds. He is a junior running back. And man, his stats are insane. I think I was trying to see how many touchdowns he had when I was doing some research on him a little earlier. Well, my internet's not wanting to cooperate with me, but at any rate, Peyton Perkins is a running back over there. I think he's got over 1,500 yards rushing on the season. But East Webster defense only giving up 10 points a ball game, and they're 8-1, 3-0 in region play. I'm going with Ron Price and East Webster this week. Again, I can't pick against you this time, Ron.
Similar thing for me. I picked against East Webster, but it was last year in our pick'em, and so whenever I made that mistake, I've picked them ever since, and they have not let me down in those games. And because they're the home of Jonathan Banks, one of my favorite all-time players from Mississippi State back in the early 2010s, I'm going with East Webster.
I'll make it a clean sweep again. East Webster for me. And boy, I think all of us would love to see an East Webster Heidelberg matchup in Starkville come that first weekend of December. And now to a top 3 game, or top 3 name for a rivalry: Morton and Forest. Morton comes in at 5-3. Forest is 7-2. It's the battle for the Golden Chicken. We love it so much, it's in our Open on the State Championships Network. We talk about the battle for the Golden Chicken, and this is a good one there in that district to wind things up. So, Jared, who is gonna take home the Golden Chicken?
I'm excited. This ball game has a lot riding on it. Sometimes it doesn't. Forest is usually the more consistent team, and Morton's had their ups and downs, but Morton's had a pretty good year. I saw them in a jamboree earlier this year when they came over to Gluckstadt. Jalen Stowers, man, he can do it all. He's their leading rusher, leading passer. Man, Morton's had a really good year. They're running the football, 215 yards a ball game, 179 yards through the air. But you know me, there's a little bit of defense on that Forest side. They're really playing well on the defensive side. I'd say they're a lot better, at least statistically, on paper. I'm going to have to go with Forest, but I am excited about this ball game being one that's really going to count towards the district championship and the seeding. But give me Forest in this ball game.
Davis, who's taking home the chicken?
Jeez, man, I flipped a coin on this. Seriously. Defense at Forest, obviously, Schatz said it. Greg Keaton, a young man we recognize and had on our all-state team, 87 tackles, 19 of those for loss. He is a difference maker on the defensive line for Forest. And he talked about Stowers from Morton, and then the McDonald boys, Dolph and Xavier, and it's just the defense hadn't been quite as good at Morton as it been in the past, but I'm very close friends with Zach Jones, who's the head coach over at Morton. They beat Raymond 73-28 last week, and you think somebody would be ecstatic over putting 73 points up, and he complained to me how they put up 28 on defense, how they had to play better. In a rivalry game, I throw out the stats, I throw out records and things, and it comes down to coaching. I know the type of coach that Zach is. He's won a state title in the previous jobs. I think he was down at Lumberton where he won a state title. So I'm actually going to take Morton in this game to I guess, pull off the upset. But this is going to be a great ball game.
I had a friend that served as a deacon at the church I was a part of for many years that was actually from Morton. And we went to a funeral for his mom. And when we were up there shaking hands with them, it turns out his football coach from up there was still alive and came for the visitation. And one of the only things that they talked about was how they won the Golden Chicken when he was playing back in his senior year. And it is that storied of a rivalry. That said, Morton got the chicken for the first time in several years last year. Forest is mad about it, and they're hosting this game at home. Bearcats going to take it.
Okay, Bearcats are tough over there at L.O. Atkins Field. I've been there a few times for some ball games, and they are tough. But I'm going with Morton. I like the Panthers in this one. Earlier this week, we gave a big shout-out to League Central, the Gators, who won the district championship for, the only time in their school's history. And they've lost 2 games this year. One was to Kosciuszko. The other one was to Morton. So, Morton, they can handle some business.
Man.
And
Zach Jones is awesome, coach, man.
He's phenomenal, man.
As Brandon said, in rivalry games, you kind of throw out the records, and so I'm rolling with the Panthers in this one, so that the chicken stays right there in Morton. So we got a lot of fun games this week, and of course we're split this week between games being on Thursday and Friday, and last week of the year nonsense, but it is what it is. But those are our picks, brought to you by Pine Straw of America. And if we can get Jake to quit trick-or-treating in his Raggedy Ann costume, we'll get him to throw in some picks somewhere, and hopefully we'll have a guest picker for you again this week. But that does indeed wrap it up for us for this week on the Varsity Voices podcast, presented by C Spire. Make sure that you subscribe on whatever channel it might be, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us a rating, and of course, send us your clips. Keep sending in your clips, whether it's a radio call, video stream call, or just a huddle film. If you're in small school and you don't have a broadcast and you had a one-handed catch or something, send it to us. State Champ Radio on X, or State Championships Radio Network on Facebook or Meta, whatever it is, or scrn.live. There's an email on there. You can email it to us. We'd love to be able to feature any clips that we get. And so hopefully I have a safe Halloween, and next week we'll be talking playoffs and regular season finales. So it's going to be a fun one. For Brandon Davis, Caleb Hamill, Jared Schatz, I'm Breck Riley, signing off on the Varsity Voices podcast, presented by C Spire.
Genuine Mississippi, grown and raised and crafted, made. Genuine Mississippi.